Thank you so much. Yeah, it is a pleasure to be here. Excited for the interview.
All right, thank you. Okay, so before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to thank your team, Terrence Burrows, Katarina, and York, and the entire PropTech Connect team for hosting us this year. I think it's also important to mention that PropTech Connect was actually our very first partnership, which is a testament to how you not only collaborate with established industry giants, but also provide an entry point for prop tech companies looking to break into the European market. It goes to show that beyond operating on a macro scale, PropTech Connect is often the first event, partnership, or platform for many prop tech companies such as ours. How important is it for you to offer that kind of support and opportunity for both established and emerging companies?
That is an amazing question. That is such a good and deep question right from the beginning. Okay, cool. So there's two sides to answer it from. There's the sort of traditional real estate side, the side that's been around for the last 20 years and probably going to be around for the next 20 years. And then there's the newer companies, like you guys, but also these newly founded tech solutions. And there's immediately a little bit of a problem because you've got these very large established companies who have old processes but are in a very new ecosystem. And you've got smaller companies that don't really know how to communicate with them. So yeah, I think we just look at it from both sides. For a lot of the real estate companies, these larger players, this might be the first time they properly look at the whole prop tech thing or the whole technology thing. Yes, they might have a solution here or there, but now is the first time that they actually have to be compliant. They have to be on top of their data. They have to find a way to increase margins because margins have been going down. So they have to find ways to become more efficient. Otherwise, they die. So, we had to be a sort of user-friendly event, even for the real estate side. So you'll notice even our content, our sessions, and sort of branding that we helped our exhibitors with, it was not necessarily why BIM is required for you or why IoT is a must-have, but more how to maximize the value of a PBSA portfolio or how to get the most out of a commercial asset. And then, of course, these sorts of technologies come out on the session. So speaking the language to make it easily accessible for the real estate side, that was really important. The other thing is getting the influential players within the real estate side involved. So that meant, the largest REITs, so, Landsec, for example, having the CEO talking about this is what works for them, this is what hasn't worked, this is what they believe investors should be focusing on, this is what they think tech companies should be focusing on, and just saying it literally, so that the other real estate players who are approaching technology for the first time, they can see, okay, I know what the largest players are doing, I know what to do, and equipping them with the information that allows them to take on technology effectively. So that was that whole side. Now you have the other side, which are like you guys and the other fantastic solution providers. And what you will find is that often those with the best ideas are not necessarily the loudest. You might have a genius introvert founder who has an amazing solution, but nobody knows about it. So how do you get them in front of the players that need them? You have, of course, huge conferences around, these huge, very traditional real estate conferences, but they might be more real estate focused or might be more private equity focused. How would this person, and they're expensive. They're really expensive. And then, when you undertake any kind of marketing activity, conferences being one, events being one, but also Google ads and LinkedIn ads and whatever marketing activity, there's a huge learning curve. Events is probably the hardest. How to actually have a team to approach an event, despite the fact that we're a very, people to people industry. I think that comes down to the physical nature of real estate. So there was a challenge for them. We basically want to make it brainless. We want them to be able to purchase either exhibition space or even a ticket, and just get in front of their clients and just easily see them. Take away all the steps. So Bianca and I were talking about before. Bianca was back to back in meetings. She could just access all of the real estate players and all of the players she needed to be accessing every 20 minutes. And that was the experience we tried to create for Bianca. Bianca was really effective at it, but we tried to create for a lot of the solution providers so they could just meet everybody they needed to meet and walk away from the conference feeling successful. For those that weren't maybe raise some money from an investment round and might want to be buying exhibition space or a booth, we didn't really want them to be in charge, to be in charge of that process or own that process. We said once you've signed and you've got your place on the floor, just leave it with us. Just leave it with us. We're going to build the whole thing for you. We're going to even advise you on what to write on the booth, because a lot of companies have the tendency to be over technical. We said, just speak the real estate language. Some of them said, really, isn't that too dumb? We had this very technical data solution, and we just said, no, just get the most out of your portfolio, because that's really what you're helping these players do. They said, isn't that too dumb? I said, this is what you got to put on your booth. And fortunately, all of our, when working closely with these clients, they all were receptive. They all were receptive, and by sort of taking any of the complexity out of it and just enabling them to come in and just speak to these people speaking their language, I think from both sides, that's what sort of helped bridge the gap and help them kind of come together.